by law, when we look at neural assets, when we look at neural netting, when we look at anything that is at the mind level, when we write a program that says we're going to worry, is worry a positive, resource-enhancing emotion?
It can be.
I believe it is.
Okay, so let's do one of our tools. I'm going to jump ahead. This tool is called what does software mean? So I'm going to make this big point. Your brain is this little 2.5 pound, 3 pound hard drive, fat, water, electricity. It's the structure of it. And then there's an operating system. There's software. What is software on a computer? It's just a series of commands and equations. When you get this data, here's the function I want you to perform. And here's the results I'm going to get from that functionality. So if I take 2 plus 2, here's how it works. We're going to expect a 4. If I put Facebook, if I put a command into a like, here's what I expect to see. If I put this into that, if I put software is nothing more than a series of commands and equations that are going to give you expected results. So thinking about you as an operating system kind of gets people, it's an interesting way to look at things. I tend to think of myself differently. If I were to say who you are, you wouldn't give me an operating system designation. I'm Sumner, 10, and I'm working on upgrading to Sumner, 17 because it's 2017. I'm a father, I'm a neuropsychologist, blah, 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 blah. But it's just a series of commands. So whenever I start, there's a little sequence here that what does software mean? We study people exhaustively. 90% of parents, when that little 4-year-old girl goes to pour her first glass of milk, what's the success command? How do we command her to be successful?
Don't spill it.
Don't spill. And again, if you guys want to argue this, Nick, just say, oh, no, that's not what, blah, blah, blah. 90% of parents will say, hey, little girl, don't spill the milk. Now, 2 really bad things happen in this command sequence. Number 1, because you're literally a dumb terminal at this point, you do exactly what you're told. If you're told don't spill, you literally have to think of ways to spill so you know what not to do because you're trying not to do something. Okay, I could spill that way. Don't do that. I could spill that way. Don't do that. I could spill that way. Don't do that. Ooh, that's a big spill. Really, really, really don't do that. It's command structure. You're actually raising the probability that you're going to spill because visualization, the cognitive processes for success are based on spilling and what not to do. And there's something even worse, and you might, just might, fall into this category, Nick. If you're an overachiever, you don't think of 50 ways to spill milk, you think of 200 ways to spill milk. Because you're going to find every way that's going to impinge your success and make sure. So you worry about meteors. Because as you walk over, as I like to joke to the counter, meteor could come through the ceiling and rip this picture out of my hand. I better be dodgy, dodge that meteor that's going to come get me. Now, the way your mind works, 30 years goes by. You're never hit by a meteor. Do you finally go, you know what? Meteors, they're never going to hit me. Well, I don't know why I spent 30 years worrying about them. Or do you go to yourself, do you think, I haven't been hit for 30 years because I'm worried about it. And the probability is going up. The odds have been with me. I know. A meteor is going to hit me soon. And you increase your worry pattern about shit that never happens because it creates not shit. Which do you think your mind does? Which do you think your mind does? Does it worry less over time because bad things don't happen, or do you worry more over time because you believe worry produces a result?
Interesting.
Produces a result. It goes up over time. Biggest source of a midlife crisis is these patterns run out of runway. Everything changes when the command sequence is pour carefully. Because when you pour carefully, 50 ways to pour carefully are all careful. There's no spilling. I'll use 2 hands. I'll walk real slow. 200 ways. Do you worry about meteors? Yes or no? No. Because that's not part of a pour carefully equation. And even in the moment, if you pour too high and you're spilling and you lower the pitcher, your brain goes, ooh. You know what a spill is, the energy's there, but you're focusing on pouring carefully so that you don't spill. That's the difference. It's the command sequence. It's the software that drives it. And if you've been raised with boundary bumper lanes for success, you'll grow up, don't screw up, don't make a mistake, don't be late, gotta study, don't make a mistake, need to get an A, don't get a C. And now we look at the tipping points. I gave you both sides. Gotta study, pour carefully. Can't get an F, don't spill. Got to turn the paper in on time. Pour carefully. Don't want to be late. Don't spill. And now we look at the emotions that are attached to it. Because a lot of times, because you'll notice as an exercise and in some corporate environments, what are the success commands for your business and life? For example, I'll have someone say to me, it's really important to me to be on time. Be on time. Is that pour carefully or don't spill?
Pour carefully.
That's pour carefully. And I'll ask him, why is it important to be on time? Because if I'm ever late, I'm so stressed out, I can't stand it, I hate being late, I hate people that are late. Versus, why do you like to be on time? It just feels good to be early, and I like to be prepared, and I get a great parking spot. I love being on time. Now we're looking at the structure of on time. Those are two completely different people. So even when you change the command structure,